that it was little noise last time. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Yeah, you can start.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد في الأولين صل على سيدنا محمد في الآخرين صل على سيدنا محمد في كل وقت وحين صل على سيدنا محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اهدنا بفضلك فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك اللهم لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا برحمتك شر ما قضيت إنك سبحانك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك إنه لا يزل من وليت ولا يعز من عاديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت لك الحمد على ما قضيت ولك الشكر على ما أنعمت به علينا وأوليت نستغفرك اللهم من كل ذنب وخطيئة ونتوب إليك ونؤمن بك ونتوكل عليك أنت الغني ونحن الفقراء إليك اللهم هب لنا منك عملا صالحا يقربنا إليك اللهم لا تخزنا يوم العرض عليك اللهم استرنا فوق الأرض وتحت الأرض ويوم العرض عليك اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا اللهم متعنا بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقوتنا أبدا ما أحييتنا واجعله الوارث منا واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا وانصرنا على من عادانا ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا إلى النار مصيرنا يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم أنت ربي لا إله إلا أنت خلقتني وأنا عبدك وأنا على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت أبوء لك بنعمتك علي وأبوء بذنبي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت اللهم إنا عبيدك أولاد عبيدك أولاد الناس نواصينا بيدك ماض فينا حكمك عدل فينا قضاءك نسألك اللهم بكل اسم هو لك سميت به نفسك أو أنزلته في كتابك أو علمته أحدا من خلقك أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك أن تجعل القرآن العظيم ربيع قلوبنا ونور أبصارنا وجلاء همنا وذهاب حزننا اللهم ذكرنا منه ما نسينا اللهم ذكرنا منه ما نسينا وعلمنا منه ما جهلنا وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وأطراف النهار على الوجه الذي يرضيك عنا يا أرحم الراحمين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإن تبدوا ما في أنفسكم أو تخفوه يحاسبكم به الله فيغفر لمن يشاء ويعذب من يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد النبي الأمين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، وبعد. Dear brothers, sisters, and children, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you to another Jumma from Upper Westchester Muslim Society in Pleasantville, New York. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We have Jumma on our site in the gym and surrounding area, and taking into consideration all health requirements. Today, inshallah, we have our Khatib, Brother Khusro, and inshallah, after the khutbah, if you are home, please pray Zuhr 4 rak'ah. You can follow us on our YouTube channel, inshallah. And inshallah, after the prayer, Brother Hussein Zobi will have short announcement, inshallah.
Assalamualaikum.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. إن الحمد لله ونعمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يضلل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. All praise is for Allah. We seek His help and His forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the evil of our own souls, from our bad deeds. Whomsoever Allah guides will never be led astray, and whomsoever Allah leads astray, no one can guide. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, alone and without any partner. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his slave and messenger. Today, the topic of my khutbah is the people of the book. You've heard a lot about this phrase from the Quran. I will attempt to try and explain what I understand by it. I believe it was not God's intent to create religion, but mankind ended up creating religion. God has only one message. So there should be only one religion. But not only are there many religions, but each religion has many sects. At the time that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was revealing the message of God, he went out of his way to include among the believers those who followed the Abrahamic tradition. More than 10 times every day, Muslims pray to God to send their blessings to the followers and children of Abraham. They do this because this is what the Prophet did. They may not even consciously think that they are pledging every day to be one with the Abrahamic religion. And you know what I'm referring to, the Durud Sharif, Al Ibrahima. For centuries, God has alerted mankind through selected human beings that he has created all that is there and that he has created humans and put them on earth. He has stated that he has created the forces of good and the forces of evil. And he has put mankind in the middle to test how they will resist the forces of evil and stand by the forces of good to ultimately become good and pass the test. The concept of the people of the book, the concept that it is all right to mix with them, to share food with them, and to even marry them, is a concept to encourage people to treat all of humanity as brothers and sisters. Centuries later, Jews and Christians started to accept the concept of the Abrahamic religions. But this did not come from their texts, as in the case of Islam, where the Quran has been outspoken about Jesus and Moses and Abraham and Noah as all being messengers and all delivering the one consistent message. So the question is, do you have to be a Muslim to be good? Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 62. And I've often quoted this verse. It says, surely they that believe, and those of the Jews and the Christians and those Sabians who believe in God and the last day and work righteousness, their wage awaits them with their Lord, and no fear shall be on them, neither shall they grieve. This verse, more than any other, clarifies the continuity of one message through time. And this message says three things. Number one, believe in God, just one God, and no God but God. Number two, the doing of righteous deeds. Number three, the ultimate accounting of each human being for their time spent on earth. This verse is often confusing to Muslims who wrongly believe that in order to be good human being, you have to be a Muslim. And one of the reasons for the confusion is, it could be, if you look at Surah number 3, verse 85, which says, if anyone desires a religion other than Islam, never will it be accepted of him. And in the hereafter, he will be in the ranks of those who have lost all spiritual good. So is that a contradiction to what I'm saying? Does this verse mean Islam? Or does it mean submission to God? Same thing. If it means Islam, the religion, then does it mean that there cannot be bad Muslims? We have to ponder over this. So what is the message of Islam? The biggest message that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked to convey was about the oneness of God. No single message in Islam is more important. No other religion has emphasized this before as much. Surah 3 verse 64 says, O people of the book, come to an agreement between us and you that we shall worship none but Allah, and that we shall ascribe no partners unto him, and that none of us shall take others for lords besides Allah. So while it could not have been God's intention to single out the religions that emanated from the Middle East, because all the Abrahamic religions come from the Middle East, it could certainly have been his intent that these guidelines would apply to all of humanity. It doesn't matter where it started. And we have seen that it doesn't matter where it started. It has spread out all over the world. Currently, the Abrahamic religions are practiced by 56% of the world. Not 100%, 56% of the world. No religions have grown as fast as the Abrahamic religions. Of the three religions, Judaism has not grown. So in terms of growth, it is just two religions, Christianity and Islam. And with Christianity, we see that the Roman Empire didn't become Christianized overnight. Roman religious beliefs changed slowly over time. At the time the Western Roman Empire fell, which is about 476 CE, Christianity was still spreading. It is also important to remember that Christianity itself did not appear suddenly or fully formed. Christianity grew out of Jewish traditions and was shaped by Roman culture and political structures for several centuries. In this respect, Islam grew much faster because it had a written document which was followed in letter and spirit during the life of the Prophet, and which was compiled in a written form very soon after his death. Surah 28, verse 46 says, and argue not with the people of the book unless it be in a way that is better. Save with such of them as do wrong, and say, we believe that in that which has been revealed unto us and revealed unto you, our God and your God is one, and unto him we surrender. Our God and your God is one. But what tends to happen, and this is the problem, that we over time confuse the message with the messenger. Most religions have this confusion. It is why? Because it is easier to relate to another human and start deifying the messenger. The most important example comes from the Christian religion, where many sects consider Jesus to be the Son of God. Our guidance is very clear. Surah 4, verse 171. O people of the book, do not go beyond the bounds in your religion, and do not say anything of God but the truth. The Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, was but a messenger of God and a word of his which he conveyed to Mary, and a spirit from him. So believe in God as the one God and his messenger, including Jesus as messenger, and do not say God is one of a trinity. Give us this assertion. If it is for your own good, do so. God is but one God, all glorified. He is in that. He is absolutely about having a son, above having a son. To him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth, and God suffices as the one to be relied on, to whom affairs should be referred. So that seems to be a fundamental difference. We said, well, we talk about the people of the book, but they believe that Jesus is the Son of God. So in a recent discussion with my interfaith group, I asked the Christians why they should be called Christians. Because Muslims do not call themselves Mohammedans. I also pointed out to them that Muslims do not believe in Jesus was the Son of God, but a messenger. And it says clearly in the Quran, Muhammad is no more than an apostle. Many were the apostles that passed away before. Their response was that they have been brought up to think about God as a Trinity. They then asked me why the Quran has said to not take Jews and Christians as your friends. It says that in the Quran also. And I responded that it was a reference to certain people of those times. We can have these discussions. We can clear up these misunderstandings. It's not as clear cut as we tend to believe about other people. Other people believe things about us which is not correct. We may believe things about other people which are not correct. Then needs to be a discussion. So, Surah 3 says, yet all are not alike. Among the people of the book, there are upright people who recite the message of Allah in the watches of the night and prostrate themselves in worship. They believe in Allah and in the last day and enjoin what is right and forbid what is wrong, and hasten to excel each other in doing good. These are among the righteous. Whatever good they do shall not go unappreciated, and Allah fully knows those who are pious. Whatever good they do shall not go unappreciated. This is from the Quran. This is God's promise. Whatever good that any human does will not go unappreciated. It does not matter what religion he professes to. In God's eyes, there is only one religion, and that is to do good and avoid evil. So, inshallah, I will conclude in my last. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال. Here is what I want you to take away from this. God has sent only one message to humanity, and it is important that we speak it out and follow it. He went out of his way in the Quran to single out all the people who have understood, through whichever text they followed, what this message is. The Muslims may believe that theirs is the correct message, and the Christians may believe that theirs is the correct message. But when they sit down with each other, they find out how similar their beliefs are. We have chosen quite often to focus on the differences rather than the similarities. There was a time that the Christians and the Muslims decided to wage a war over these differences. And these came to be known as the Crusades. We understand better today that these differences are not worth killing one another for. The jihad today, or call it a crusade, is to come together over helping humanity and doing good and getting rid of the evil with which we are surrounded. This is the concept of the people of the book. And it goes beyond the Abrahamic religions. Let God decide who was on the right path. Just because we are Muslims does not mean that we have understood the message. Just because we are Muslims does not mean that we will pass the test. We have to prove ourselves. This is God's promise. Whatever good that any human does will not go unappreciated. I hope that I have not made a mistake in explaining this to you. Let may Allah guide us along the right path. Let Allah guide us in understanding His message. And much more importantly, let us seek His help in following the right path. Inshallah, let us say our prayer.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Just a couple of brief announcements. First, alhamdulillah, many members of our community are beginning to get vaccinated. And alhamdulillah, we congratulate them and we aspire one day to also get vaccinated soon, inshallah. But that does not and cannot change our careful adherence to the social distancing, the mask wearing that we're continuing to observe here at the masjid. Please continue to do that. Even if you've been vaccinated, out of respect, out of courtesy for everyone, please continue to wear masks, gloves, etc. here at the masjid, inshallah. And also when you're leaving, because we still have a lot of snow, please leave from the main entrance and just don't congregate. And lastly, speaking of the snow, the forecast is next week for even more significant amounts of snow. And as I mentioned last time, it costs us in excess of $750 every time we have to plow the parking lot. So please do what you can on your way out in the masjid fund, the masjid operating fund in particular. Contribute what you can so we can continue to reign open. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
جزاك الله خير.